Straight males of Reddit, what's the gayest thing you've ever done?
Open desert field, 2 a.m., 28 degrees Fahrenheit, wrapped under a warm layer, 3 guys nuts to butts, wrapped arms all over. Do you have a beep boner right now, bro? Yeah, my bad. Just don't beep move, please. Edit, temps went from high 70s when we started and fluctuated to high 20s and low 30s throughout the nights. Add the non-stop exertion throughout the days and portions of nights, we were very salty sacks cuddling for heat. And I cannot stress how the level of intimacy I've experienced throughout my time was only topped by my wife.
I was in the army. In combat arms? I think it's safe to say that the military is full of the gayest straight people you'll ever meet. I had 2 fellow soldiers jump into the same shower stall, naked as the day they were born, and wash each other's backs just to beep with our commander when he walked in.
I once watched 300. Seriously though, I once held hands with a gay male friend at a party because he was ridiculously handsome and he wanted to discourage a stalker girl who wouldn't take no for an answer.
Went on a cruise with my best bro I hadn't seen in a year after I moved a few states away. The boat docks in Cozumel, and we both walk off the boat shirtless. No plan, but I eventually suggest renting mopeds. We get to the rental place, and he asks, "Can I just ride on the back of yours?" Me, okay. That's how we spent our afternoon, 2 shirtless guys cruising around on a moped and he's got his arms around my waist. What's great is that someone from the cruise had taken our picture on the moped, and when he got married, his brother's best man speech was actually a PowerPoint presentation that incorporated that picture. His brother said something like, "Some of you may not know this, but X hasn't always dated women."
Me and the boys once took turns taking a 10-minute ice bath at a hotel, then measuring who had the smallest peen by the end of their ice bath. The smallest person won.
This isn't my story, but I saved it from a similar thread ages ago because it made me laugh. Thanks again, you based intellect. When I was 8 years old, my dad bought me the original PlayStation. I was so excited that I rode my bike to my friend's house and ran up the stairs to his room to tell him to come play it with me. As soon as I told him, he grabbed my face and gave me a big smooch on the lips. Homie was totally heterosexual but could not contain his love and excitement for new video games. Probably the weirdest moment of my life. We played Crash Bandicoot and never spoke of it again.
I once owned a Mustang with a V6 instead of the V8.
Naked 4 a.m. drunk bench press session in the back garden of a mate's house, with 2 other mates. We were drunk, there was a bench. Inevitably, benching happens. I can't remember who thought first, this would be funnier if I was naked. Probably me.
When I was a teenager, me and my 5 friends were alone in the dorms while everyone else went on break. My 4 friends decided that it would be fun to have a masturbation contest to see who can come the fastest. I said hell no, and became the officiator. They all went to separate corners of the room and readied the porn in their phones. When I shout, "Go!" they start jerking off simultaneously and the losers have to pay the winner's dinner.
I worked security at a gay bar, and while selling jello shots at the door during a holiday party, I let a big bear man kiss me on the cheek because he asked nicely, after I gave him a free jello shot for buying like 10 of them. Edit, since this blew up, it was 2009, well before the pandemic. I spent this past New Year's Eve sitting on the couch with my wife, drinking cheap champagne and falling asleep before enjoying any of the snacks we had prepared, like the parents we are.
Joined the Marine Corps. If I drew up a line chart of my life with X equals age and Y equals number of IRL dicks seen, there is an exponential spike well into the hundreds on my first day of boot camp.
I have a real answer. When I was 10 or 11, I was in a jerk circle with like 2 other guys and we all had our hands on each other's cocks. Definitely regret it, and it's still my biggest secret to date.
Went to a Disney-themed birthday party with 2 gay friends as a trio of gender-bent villains. Was fun.
I let an old man look into, and then finger, my butthole just so I could join the military. I felt so used. For the next 8 years.
Pretended to be my friend's boyfriend to prevent him from being hit on from this guy he didn't want to hit on him. We put our arms around each other and I kissed him on the temple. Lol. Gay or straight, no means no, and I'll do this 1,000 times more if I have to.
Had a crush on a guy back in high school or so I thought, turned out the guy was a girl hiding in a hoodie with a buzz cut. I was seriously questioning my sexuality until I found out.
I stayed in a London hostel. Late at night I sat on a couch just working on my laptop. Couple hours later a guy sits down next to me. We get into talking and he tells me that he can't sleep. Some guys in his room were talking about sex and he got too horny and couldn't relax. I really didn't give a beep and just kept working. He was overall a pretty nice guy, but all of a sudden he takes out his phone and asks me if I mind. Having no idea what he's going for, I say I don't. He opens FUB and starts jacking off to gay porn. The situation was so surreal that I didn't know what to do, so I just sat there and waited it out. In between he told me that it really turned him on that I was there even if I didn't do anything. After he finished we kept talking like nothing happened. Really cool dude. Other than that, changed jobs. He was so amazed by the beep he did for a living that I wanted to try myself. TLDR, stranger jacked off next to me and I waited it out so I could pick up our conversation again.
I was at a bar with my FWB, now wife. Outside smoking a cigarette when a guy comes up and starts flirting with me. I let him know that I'm flattered but straight. Then he says something like how that's too bad because I've got the most kissable looking lips. So I humor him and say, well, one kiss won't hurt, and lean in and we share a quick kiss. He goes, that was nice, can I have some more? Guess I was feeling spunky because I then proceeded to make out with him for a good minute while he squeezed my butt. He said thank you and we parted ways.
It's not my doing, but there was this one time when I was in college, I got quite drunk after a party. My roommate, whom I think is a bisexual, sucked my dick for like 4 to 5 seconds. Well, he was not drunk and he stopped because I didn't approve of that. We both implicitly agreed that was an accident, without any awkwardness. We never speak of that again and are still good friends. Of course I didn't know he was a bisexual before the incident.
I grew up in a small, very religious town in the deep south. We had a small mall and on Sundays it was common for little old ladies to meet up there for lunch after church. In high school, me and a buddy occasionally went to the mall on Sundays and faked breaking up near groups of these little old ladies. We'd make it as ridiculous as possible while still being believable. My friend was able to cry on command, so the real tears added a little believability. To add icing on the cringe cake, he was black and I'm white, so it made it just a little more awkward for all the old-fashioned people my town is so well known for.
I had sex with a guy. Turns out I'm only into anal when it's with a chick.
I had my best friend suck my dick when I was drunk once. Knew I was straight about 2 seconds in.
I sucked a dick to get a ride to a concert. Just kidding. I didn't need a ride.
I giggled like a schoolgirl when a gay guy complimented me in New York in 2014. It wasn't the fact that I was flattered by the compliment, I was very flattered, but the fact that I uttered the most effeminate laugh I've ever had or heard from said compliment. I was in New York very often that summer after breaking up with a terrible, emotionally abusive girlfriend, and I got hit on by several gay dudes there. A big thanks to the LGBTQ community for helping me feel good about myself again that year. Edit. I didn't expect this to be received so well, thanks so much. Edit 2. And yes, aside from hating and fearing a bunch of the obvious things going on in our world, I'm a very happy and happily married person now.
I Frenched a guy in a very drunken game of truth or dare. I have to say the big difference was the feel of stubble and the more aggressive tongue action.
Kissed a dude. Edit. Actually 2 dudes.
Made out with a close friend when he came out to me as gay. He wasn't really sure how I would respond when he told me he thought I was attractive. I didn't know how I was gonna respond either. He decided to just go for it and kiss me. Honestly, best makeout session I had. Every girl I made out lacked the passion he did. Never made out with him again.
Buddy and I held hands, linked fingers style, and skipped down the road.
Technically, got in a hot tub naked with 3 gay guys and we talked about relationships. But really, remove the gay element and it was just 4 dudes talking about life. No biggie. You should tell your dad about this. Was the big laugh line?
I kissed a dude because I thought I was gay.
Sucked a dick.
High school wrestling.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.